The medium-term economic recovery and growth plan has 3 strategic objectives, namely restoring growth, building a competitive economy, and investing in our people. Speaking objectively, let me assert that the first 2 objectives actually depend on the third. That is to say, investing in our people. Strategically, the National Social Investment Program draws inspiration from the third pillar of the ERGP of investing in our people. The National Social Investment Policy was developed and sponsored by the Ministry of Budget and National Planning, passed by the Federal Executive Council, and approved by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The policy is a framework for the implementation of the current National Social Investment Program. The policy has 16 measures, which are all aimed at addressing human investment. The theory behind the policy is to provide a mix of policies and programs designed for individuals and households throughout the life cycle to prevent and reduce poverty, and also to ensure that socio-economic shocks are provided for by promoting and enhancing livelihood and providing a life of dignity for our people. This policy basically caters for all of the citizens of this country from cradle to grave. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the ERGP, the National Social Protection Policy, and the National Social Investment Program are all initiated by this government to give a life of dignity to all Nigerians, but more specifically, to support the poor and the vulnerable members of our society. Let me say clearly that without investing in human capital, all other investments, including capital investment, are at risk of failure. And the current government is very much aware of this. To demonstrate the commitment of this government to investing in the people, the total budget for the National Social Investment Programs across the MDAs of health, education, youth and sports development, and the National Social Investment Program experienced a quantum leap from 840 million in 2015 to 1.3 million in 2016, to 1.4 million in 2017, and to 1.5 million in the proposed 2018 budget. It is important to note that for the first time in Nigeria, we have a National Social Investment Program with a budget size of 500 billion naira in the last 2 years of 2016 and 2017 budgets. The same amount is proposed in the 2017 budget. The programs under the National Social Investment are 4 clusters. The first one is the Homegrown School Feeding Program, which is aimed at delivering nutritious meals to every child in a public school, with a specific focus on increasing school enrollment, improving their health outcomes, and also retention in schools, and also school completion. The second cluster is the Conditional Cash Transfer Program, which is designed to provide some level of consumption and purchasing power to the poor and the vulnerable. The N-Power program is designed to assist young Nigerians between the ages of 18 to 35 to acquire and develop lifelong skills for becoming entrepreneurs with a basic stipend of 30,000 naira per month, and also for skills acquisition opportunity. The Government Enterprise Program, GEP, is a micro-lending intervention that targets traders, artisans, enterprising youth, farmers, and women in particular, by providing loans that range from 10,000 naira to 100,000 naira without collateral and without any interest. The Social Housing Program is the last cluster, and this is designed to deliver 10,000 housing units of low-cost houses under a special mortgage financing arrangement. Social investment is a cardinal feature of governance, as it seeks to strengthen the coordination with subnational governments and guarantee cohesion between the governed and the government. If we must improve the effectiveness of governance, 3 key points must be focused upon. One is to ensure that there is cooperation and knowledge sharing across the 3 tiers of government. 2, there must be evidence-based planning and discussions. And 3, there must be reliable data and information around socio-economic issues. This is what we're doing, and this is what we will continue to do. Our programs operate in an open and transparent manner with linkages between the clusters and full cooperation from the states. The holistic approach has become the hallmark of the National Social Investment Program. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I make bold to say that no fewer than 7.9 million Nigerians out of a projected 10 million Nigerians have benefited from the National Social Investment Program. And according to the National Social Investment Office, nearly 70% success rate has been achieved in the implementation of the programs to date. Besides the 7.9 million direct beneficiaries, there's also an indirect there's also 1.75 million indirect beneficiaries comprising of cooks, farmers, vulnerable household members, and also, even outside of that, more beneficiaries along the various value chains. Up till today, we have each of the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT participating in at least 2 of the programs actively. Under the National Social Investment Safety Net, for example, we have a register now of 430,000 poor and vulnerable households. These have been identified, they have been enumerated in 5,500 communities in 23 states of the Federation. And as of today, 295,000 people are drawing the 5,000 Naira monthly stipend cash transfers. The Homegrown School Feeding Program is, as at today, feeding 1.487 million pupils in 22 states. These children are being fed 1 meal a day, 1 meal in every school day, and these pupils are in 53,500 primary schools. The JIP program has, as at today, issued out loans to 260,000 women, youths, and also men. The Empower program has employed 200,000 volunteers, and they have been recruited and they are working. They earn 30,000 per month. There is a set of 300,000 graduate volunteers that have been pre-selected, and they will be deployed within the year 2018. Despite the achievements of these programs, there are still a number of challenges that we need to address. There is a large employment rate in our country. We have a fast-growing population. Of the 200 million Nigerians, about 65% of these numbers are youths under the age of 30 years. But we also have significant revenue shortfalls, significant security challenges, and of course, underdevelopment. Despite these challenges, just as we invest in hard infrastructure, we are committed to continue to invest in soft infrastructure. We will be continuing to invest in human capital, and because this is absolutely necessary for us to be able to reach our growth aspiration of 7% of GDP by the year 2020. And we're intent on making sure that this growth is not only sustainable, but is inclusive. So going forward, we are committing to increasing investments in healthcare, in nutrition, in education, in youth development, and also continue investment in the National Social Investment Programs. We have a plan for gradual realization as provided for in the National Social Protection Policy. We intend to tackle unemployment using a realistic model of enhancing the power of the private sector, unlocking the entrepreneurship skills of our youths. We will support our youths with the right skill sets to increase their productivity. We also have challenges of public misrepresentation due to past experiences of social investment programs. To address this, we have initiated a robust communication strategy to enable us communicate better to Nigerians on the social investment program and how the citizens themselves can contribute and be part of the change agenda. After 2 years of running this credible program, we are confident that more development partners will support government to invest in our people. And before the end of this year, I'm optimistic that the National Social Investment Policy will receive legal backing by the passage of the National Assembly. This is important to ensure sustainability of the programs. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the discourse on social investment as a feature of governance cannot be overemphasized, as the role of government and various stakeholders in maximizing the welfare of people and ensuring a life of dignity for all is the ultimate service of governance. The investment in human capital will enhance people's capacity to participate in Nigeria's economic growth objectives, and also for us to have a better integration of our nation's socio-economic development aspirations. Let me restate here that this government is committed to investing in the people, and all hands must be on deck to achieve this national development agenda for the sake of Nigerians of today and the Nigerians in the future. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
4 years ago, Emeka, Shehu, Bisi, and Ruki, all 6 years old, didn't attend school, hawked groundnuts, and were malnourished. Their parents couldn't afford to give them regular meals. All that has changed with the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. This program is the Buhari administration's policy designed to tackle child malnourishment and low pupil enrollment by giving children in public primary schools a free meal every day. Since its launch in 2016, the federal government has provided over 400 million meals to over 7.4 million children in about 46,000 schools across 22 states of the Federation. Investing in a balanced diet for children is also improving the livelihoods of about 75,000 cooks and thousands of farmers, utensil makers, and transporters along the value chain from farm to school table. Being that all food are sourced and cooked from and in the communities where the schools are, there is an evident multiplier effect in the local economies of these communities. The march to reach 24 million children continues. States are encouraged to avail themselves of this opportunity. Also, members of the private sector and all patriotic Nigerians must join hands to ensure that we banish child malnourishment and school absence to the annals of history. Investing in keeping Emeka, Shehu, Bisi, Ruki, and all our children in school today will ensure that we have a more productive workforce and safer country tomorrow. Support the Nigerian Homegrown School Feeding Program. Support the National Social Investments Program. Support the federal government of Nigeria.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there's a saying that children do not eat in the long term or in the medium term. They need to eat every day. So there's an immediacy with respect to school meals and the plan of the federal government in the National Social Investments Program. So what we're doing this year is we have our theme segmented into the various population areas. We have children, we have young people, we have artisans, small businesses, and we also have the most vulnerable amongst us. So we're going to start with our children. I would like to invite just a story that will be told through the voices of everyone who benefits from this program. We have children who sit at the school tables and receive a meal every day. We have farmers, and in between we have cooks, transporters that benefit from this bountiful multiplier effect. Before I invite the national coordinator of the National Homegrown School Feeding to present for her cluster, we will see a short documentary of what goes on in Akwa Ibom. So I would like to invite Mrs. Abimbola Adesomi to come up with the children, the cooks, the farmers, and she would introduce a narrative. But before then, a short documentary. Thank you.